This pregnant woman is having difficulty giving birth. The doctor quickly opened her stomach, but what he brought out was a dead baby. The doctor found another one in the pregnant woman's stomach and a weak heartbeat. But the baby, who was judged dead, suddenly opened its eyes. There are actually 2 pupils in the eye sockets. Camera rotation. A woman takes a shower and walks out of the bathroom. Discovering that the house is burning brightly, he hurriedly called the police. Unfortunately, it's too late. Wait for the police to arrive. The house is still intact. The woman's body was extensively burned. Fingers also exhibit special distortions caused by high-temperature dehydration. It was indeed burned to death. 35 degrees Celsius high-temperature weather. The air conditioning is also broken. The chairman was frozen to death in the office. The employees were sweating profusely from the heat. The forensic doctor pulled out ice debris from the man's nostrils. This is too weird. The doctor found the same type of mold on 2 deceased people. It can be inferred that there is a significant correlation between the 2 cases, but the boss was extremely opposed. He thinks these 2 things are too strange. How can I report this kind of god-nagging matter? He wants to hide it. But not long after, there was a 3rd outbreak of sweating and blood. The victim this time was a powerful priest. He is lying in bed reading a book. Suddenly discovered blood on his hand. Lift up the blanket and see that it's all blood. The cause of death was that the intestines were taken out and washed clean. I sewed it back again. Mold was also found in his nostrils. Now, the boss can't even hide it if he wants to. The US has sent police officers to assist in handling the case. Male lead Huang Huotu. Because English is best sent to receive dog eggs. Huang Huotu is a righteous police officer. Even my brother-in-law's corruption and bribery can be caught without fail. My brother-in-law cannot bear the disaster imprisonment, holding Huang Huotu's daughter hostage. At the moment of being able to shoot, the bullet seems to be under control. A 90-degree turn, straight through my brother-in-law's forehead. So when Dog Egg shows his unhappiness towards a bizarre event. But Huang Huotu said, some are science, unable to explain. High-temperature weather, men are frozen to death, women burned to death at home. But the room is intact. The priest spread out his belly, being pulled out by someone. Intestines. 3 homicide cases. The only connection is the same mold on the body. This mold parasitizes the brain, can make people reach a high level of excitement and pleasure. The detection report also displays their true cause of death was caused by extreme excitement. But Huang Huotu is not satisfied, because this cannot explain the bizarre state of the deceased. Remembering the spell on the priest, Huang Huotu brought dog eggs to seek expert advice. The original spell was named Godai. To put it plainly, it's a talisman. Experts come up with a set of inscriptions. There is a close connection between the inscriptions on the stele and the inscribed discs, but the inscriptions are too complex. I can't see why for a moment. Huang Huotu returns with the inscription, accidentally aligned it with the flash and discovered 4 words. Fu Maya Jingwan. Father corresponds to Liao Zhenfu Temple, which was frozen to death. Corresponding to the Birchu Temple, square well. It refers to the priest. Because Christianity was originally known as Nestorianism, all that's left is the word lookout. Is there still 2 unclear words in the inscription of the 4th deceased? Those who do not believe in ghosts and gods show in sun. Dog Egg looks at the yellow fire of God's chattering expression. I really don't believe it. Handling cases still relies on science and technology. He felt that Huang Huotu was in the wrong direction from the beginning. Meanwhile, a man followed the Taoist into a high-end office building, the top floor of an office building. It's actually a Taoist temple. Men are blindfolded, Taoist hands clap. A puff of smoke, inhaled into the nose by a man, then one hand pulled out his heart. But men don't see any pain. Instead, he had a silly smile on his face. The police found the man's body, quickly identify him. His name is Chen Liang Wan. Exactly corresponds to the character, Wang, in the inscription. Discovered once again the gap between the butterfly and the yellow clay on him. This is a supernatural event. Dog Egg disagree, because he discovered mold. Perhaps this is a mold plague, causing hallucinations. Only then do we have these bizarre ways of dying. Huang Huotu adheres to his own ideas. He found the expert again. Show him the photos of the deceased. Experts take a look. This guy wants to become a fairy. There is a saying in Taoism, hell has 5 layers. Cold ice prison, fire pit prison, bowel pulling prison, heart gouging prison and tongue pulling prison. And each of the 4 victims committed 4 different sins. Under the 4 sins of greed, adultery, betrayal, and unfilial piety, different hells correspond to different ways of death. Practitioners want to become immortals, must have double pupils. Double pupils can see through sin, and eradicate these sins. Only by completing the 5-domain test can one become a Taoist immortal. Now there's only one left. Those who do not believe in ghosts and gods will be imprisoned by pulling out their tongues, and experts told Huang Huotu youth. The sun represents fire and earth yellow. Huotu was stunned for a moment. Is he the last one? At this point, the police have discovered new victims. Located in the Taoist temple above the office building, a young girl was hidden under the floor. A large piece of flesh was dug out of the belly. There is mold growing inside. The truth has surfaced. The mentor of the Taoist temple indiscriminately kills innocent people in order to become immortals. The case has finally been resolved. Dog egg proud. There's no such thing as a strange and disorderly spirit. It's all about the ugly and greedy nature of the human heart. Two people celebrate the discovery of the case. I got really drunk, fall into a deep sleep. The next day, yellow fire soil is called dog egg. Get up and pick up. Almost scared to cry dog eggs, mouth full of blood, holding half of his tongue in his hand. Those who do not believe in ghosts and gods will be imprisoned by pulling out their tongues. Unexpectedly, it happened to dog eggs, and Huang Huotu also experienced a large amount of sterilization coma on his body. The medium yellow clay actually calmed down. He carefully attached all the cases, discovered that the girl who had her belly cut had no connection to the inscription charm. So what does his appearance represent? Huang Huotu hurriedly rushed to the tower's temple. Sure enough, the girl is waiting. Turns out mold is just a cover. He and his sister practiced in their previous lives, reincarnation and soaring. My sister was separated from her body as soon as she was born. That's the one who died. Therefore his cultivation is not enough. So my sister gave him the twin children. Help him see through the sins of the 5 desires, and then someone who is destined to kill his flesh. He can become an immortal, and Huang Huotu is his destined person. That's why he saved Huang Huotu in the dark. Daughter's life. Everything is ready now, just firing yellow clay. The girl promised to fry up with yellow clay. Huang Huotu agreed, but he insisted that the girl should be tried by the law first. No matter how intimidated and seduced the girl is, Huang Huotu insists on bringing him to justice. Order settles down. Huang Huotu returns home. But I saw my wife suddenly turn into a girl. Got the girl. Huang Huotu fired the gun without hesitation. At this moment, the illusion is shattered. He returned to the tower's temple again. Everything just now was a fantasy where a girl lured Huang Huotu into shooting. The girl fulfilled her wish to break free from her physical body, also keeping promise, flying up with yellow clay. Huang Huotu's wife and children are here. My daughter is lying next to him, crying for dad. His mind conjured up happy moments with his wife and children. Tears welled up from the corners of his eyes. She didn't choose to soar, but stay on Earth. The final mystery of the inscription emerges. Love never dies. Actually, there is another version of the outcome of double pupils. In another version, the yellow clay has skyrocketed. The inscription shows that love breeds sorrow. Fear arises from love. If separated from the lover, worry-free and fearless, this seemingly contradictory yet identical outcome make this movie instantly sublimate. Love is the greatest flaw of humanity. Where there is love, there is weakness. Having fear, love is the most powerful weapon of humanity. As long as love is still there, humans can survive. Indestructible, forever transmission of firewood, and the so-called immortality, must cut off the threads of love. It's worth considering, becoming a deity that cuts off emotions and desires. What other fun is there?